Hey guys, happy Friday. We're going to be tape reading NASDAQ Futures. Make sure you have read the disclaimer. So, we had news at 8:30 a.m. This week has been interesting. We've remained in this range, although I think we could run for that high, possibly from last week. It is a possibility. There's also a possibility that we leave it. But as you can see, for the entire week, it's been an uptrend, a classic uptrend. Yeah. News happening all week and a classic uptrend. So, interesting stuff. Interesting, of course, to say the least. Honestly, that's NFP for you. That is NFP for you. Gonna be sharing the link in the Discord in a second. Sorry if I'm on the screen. Alright. So there we go. We are live. And yeah. So some of you who know have been paying attention to the 2025 mentorship. Let's see. The midnight opening gaps. That's one of the main staples I've noticed. Of course, the opening range gap as well. But the midnight opening gap, it has proved very important in price action. Let me see if I can. So there's like a midnight first for value gap. There's a midnight opening range gap, as I mentioned. You can see here how that first for value gap is used. How powerful this is, I've been considering going back to London for other reasons as well, especially my sleep schedule. But nonetheless, I think it's been very, very powerful from what I've studied. And I'm sure you guys can do your own, make your own observations. This is obviously the 2025 mentorship, but I'm going to keep it off the chart so I don't give you guys a brain aneurysm, just for your benefit. So, we had news, like I said, at 8:30. We have some 10 o'clock news. I mean, this wick is insane. But with my trading model and with ICT's concepts, TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Every Friday we expect a 20 to 30% retracement into the week's range. I don't know if we're going to see that because this entire week has been an uptrend. So it's been negating a lot of the rules, and that is mainly because of manipulation from the news events. So I don't know if we're going to see that retracement. It all depends on, you know, what happens. I think we could possibly take this high and then drop, or we just go straight for those higher time frame equal highs, which is a great possibility. But it's been a while since I've seen a straight up uptrend for an entire week. Besides, I would say, the election. Other than that, I really haven't seen much of that. So, another thing I'm looking out for are these relative equal lows. Let me enlarge this a bit. These relative equal lows right here from the previous day, yep, Thursday. I mean, this would probably establish, if we don't take out the high, it would establish even more equal highs. So even if we leave it intact, I don't expect it to go straight for those higher time frame lows. I would shift my bias to attack those relatively equal highs after, obviously, probably a retracement into here. So yes, I was anticipating this week to go for those lows since we're in close proximity after retracing into this new week open gap, but you know, we have to adapt to what the market gives us. So yes, we're approaching 9:30. So 9:30, very important time. Volatility enters the market from the official New York Open, and all the normies enter the stock market. When their charts start, you know, they magically turn on. And then also, as ICT traders, we look at the opening range gap from yesterday's close to today's open, 9:30. Whatever the gap is, then we mark it out. And depending on the size of the gap in terms of points, we will make certain anticipations. Let me pull out my notes to tell you guys specifically what that is. So, if the opening range is 20 to 75 points, anticipate a purge of buy side or sell side, then retrace to 50% of the gap, which happens 70% of the time. If opening range is 120 plus points, expect a continuation of price. And I'll explain how I'll use these in a second. If the opening range is between 75 to 120 points, anticipate that price could go in either direction. So when we're waiting for the gap to form, we want to pay attention to the regular trading hours. So like, where's price at now? So we're at 878, 21,878. Yesterday's close was at 820. So it'll be slightly above. So I think we'll have depending on if we come back down, it would be potentially 20 to 75 points. So like, we can anticipate a run to consequent encroachment or 50% of the opening range. So that's how you anticipate basically what the opening range would be sizably. And then we'll anticipate a retracement to 50% within the first 30 minutes. ICT gave the statistic that happens 75% of the time. So, yeah. Yeah, regular trading hours and electronic trading hours, you do want to pay attention to that. Just so you understand, you know, even if it's like not just like the current day opening gap, you want to see when we're retracing into a previous opening range gap. Like right here, we retraced yes, we retraced into this, but we also retraced into this gap right here. Like, yes, we're retracing into the CIBI, but inversion, bearish for value gap, but we're also retracing into this. So going back to electronic trading hours though. So this wick took out pretty much all of liquidity from from last night's Asia and London. Oh my god. London session liquidity. That was wild. That was wild for sure. So let's see. Okay, it won't show right now. Okay, let's see if it shows. Alright. So pretty much everything in terms of buy side has been purged. But then you see PM session, yesterday's PM session hasn't been purged. The day before PM session has not been purged. So maybe anticipate some run above here, or some type of rejection, and then run for these lows possibly. Who knows? But like I said, we are in close proximity to that hard time frame buy side liquidity, and this week has been completely an uptrend. So you know, all depends, I think, what happens at the 9:30 opening. Because I would expect the 9:30 opening to at least take out this high, and then maybe go for these lows, and then next week we can anticipate that actual run for the buy side. So waiting patiently. I'll be right back. Give me a second, guys. Okay. We'll see if we're in close proximity to any new week opening gaps, which we probably are. We're within one. Okay. See if there's any above. No. Okay, I'll see the new day opening gap, where we're at with that. Okay. So we're above it. Looks like. Yeah. So within the new week opening gap, above the new day opening gap. Like I said, Fridays are TGIF Friday, so we expect at least 20 to 30% retracement into the week's range. So I would like to see that, but given the circumstances of the insane amount of news, then I'll likely be more reserved with my anticipations. makes sense why ICT says don't trade. Only trade on, like, I'm pretty sure it's Monday, NFP week. When we have larger wicks like this, at least what I like to do, and I see an ICT do this obviously, but mapping out the gradient. So if we respect 50%, come back down into it, and then respect it again, and then we would expect continuation. But if we disrespect this week as well, okay, so looks like we expected 50% of that. So now my eyes would I'll be paying attention to if that's continue. So then I would map out this wick, see what's good here. Let me this way, and we'll do this way. Interesting how that works. Now it doesn't negate the fact that we could still run above that high, but we'll obviously need to see more evidence before we decide that this is going to be bearish. Still have the volatility of 930 coming up. Alright, so we got 10 minutes until 9:30 opening. So if we disrespect this busy and we come back up into it, then you may consider that a inversion value gap. We'll check on the 5 minute, start scaling down a bit. easily just take out these highs first and then drop, but with all these wicks, it's kind of sus to me. Like, especially with us, like I said, continuously driving upwards. Yeah. So, when the bodies do not close, let's say, in this scenario, since the bodies did not close below the busy, then it wouldn't be a good indication to switch bias or say that this busy has been disrespected until candles close below it. The wicks do the damage and the bodies tell the story. That is ICT's words. A lot of what I say is going to be either, well, most of the time it's going to be ICT's direct words or from my experience. But so the body closed below it, then consider this could be an inversion. Okay, so now we consider this an inversion. Okay, so I might drop down to 15 seconds. So this wick has completely demolished both sides of liquidity. So what we can bring our eyes to is the higher time frame or the higher time frame buy side or the intermediate term relative equal lows. And the fact that we've been bullish all week and with little to no like major retracement, like every day has been bullish. Haven't seen anything particularly showing a drop in momentum. So we have 5 minutes until until 9:30 here. Again, we also have 10 o'clock news. Strong possibility that we run for these highs first. Okay, so body's respecting half of this inversion for value gap. Seems like we're gonna get a small opening range gap here. Okay, so yesterday's close was at 817. Right now we're at 878. So it's going to be between 20 and 75 points. So there's a 75% chance that we retrace the consequent encroachment of the opening range gap. As long as we don't take off here. And we should see, as long as we stay below, I'd say 900, then I would expect 50% retracement. Okay, so we might see that manipulation swing here to take out the highs first. Yep. Probably see this high taken out before we see this turn in the opposite direction. So anyone that was like entering trades in here, going short, they probably have their stop losses up here. It's a very likely scenario. And possibly in here. Okay, so we went back down to that inversion. It's an immediate rebalance. Very powerful Pediarite. So we'll probably see higher prices here going into the opening range gap. Here comes the sun. Remember what I said about 50%? 75% chance to hit 50% of the opening range gap within the first 30 minutes. So we took out the low. Now I'm going to run for the highs. Okay. Running for the highs. See if this wick can give us anything. Okay, so that's 50%, right? Yeah, wait. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Because this is still a civvy, a 4-hour chart on the right. And we have 50% of this wick, and then might as well map out 50% of this. Okay, so let's see if we react to any of these levels. If we do not, then it would be fair to say that we could run out those higher time frame buy side liquidity equal highs. Obviously, I am anticipating that we do react to it. If we don't, that's okay. Okay, we're approaching that consequent encroachment of the 4-hour SIBI. So let me measure this opening range gap. Yeah, between 20 to 75 points. So probably be more advantageous for them to take out this high, previous week high as well. Pretty sure that is a previous week high, yeah. So I'll map that up. So let's take a look at. We can take a look at ES in a second. Let's do that. Okay, interesting. Okay, looks like it's retracing into the opening range gap already. Yeah, this hasn't retraced yet. Okay, so looks like it's obviously, as you can see, it's less willing to retrace. I think it wants to take out this previous weekly high first. Let's take a look at back at ES. So this, what, it wasn't a previous week. Hold on. Okay, so ES isn't even close. So this is obviously more willing to, okay. Yeah. Okay, so we're going for that previous weekly high right now. Smacked it. Now, the question is, do we continue to take out the buy side liquidity? If so, that'll be one hell of a week. Just complete upside. That'll be one hell of a week. So this line right here, that is the higher time frame equal highs. Be interesting to see if we, like I said, if we continue, like if we retrace and then continue, or that's it. We retrace and possibly expand. Who knows? But I would consider this a breaker if we can. Here, let me go to the 15-second. That would be the time. Okay, so let's see what happens with this gap right here. This would be of interest to me. If this is gonna stay as a breaker, or if we just keep going. So if this isn't, okay. If this isn't respected as a breaker, then I would consider this to be more likely to keep going up. So if we disrespect this break, I would consider this to keep going up. So pay attention to also obviously this. So we want to see respect of the breaker and disrespect of this. But if we see continuous respect of this, then we can probably see, we'll be likely to see this breaker be disrespected. This is on the 15-second chart, by the way. Again, we have news at 10 a.m. Another. Yeah, this probably won't show. Let's see. Okay, so 10 a.m. Consumer sentiment. This looks like consolidation within here. Time distortion as well. Also apologize. I have a big ass fucking monitor, so I forget when the candles might be too small for you to see. Apologies about that. Okay, so looks like potentially respecting the busy, we might disrespect the breaker. If we go above the breaker, then it's disrespected, then I anticipate higher price movement. Okay. Looks like that is going to occur. Expect deeper price movement above the previous weekly high to take out any more stops that are resting above it. This may, in fact, go for those higher time frame equal highs. So now my attention will shift to this busy. Start remaining bullish. I mean, are we going to see that? It is possible we leave that previous weekly high. Interesting. I usually don't trust when we just take like a few points off of a previous high, a previous low. I still expect a deeper drive above it, but we got news in 15 minutes, so I think that might be the time that we see an actual drive above it to take out stop losses. But this week has been full of news every morning. A lot of manipulation. So, I'm sorry. It's important in these moments, especially in weeks like this, that if you don't know what's gonna happen next, if you're not confident in what's gonna happen next based on your analysis, then just don't trade. That's what I'm doing here. I just don't want to even like touch this stuff right now. I had a few losing trades early in the week, and then I was like, all right, fuck this. Like, just based on this week alone, like just based on the price action, like just straight up uptrend. Yeah. Usually we see more variation, but like we've been, as you can see last week as well, various uptrend and then drop down precipitously and then go back up. Like yeah. I was just expecting a retracement into the new week opening gap since we're so close to those relative equal lows. I was like, okay, he really wants to take out those lows, and it was like, psych. Coming back to that 50%. Oh, that's the 4-hour SIBI. Let's go back to that. Yeah. Okay. Be interesting to see if we start respecting that now. I'm gonna step away for a moment. I have some things to check on. Yo, by the way, shout out to that boy Yeezy, holding it down, man. It's a random shout out to Yeezy for no reason. I'm just gonna shout out Yeezy for no reason. Obviously there is a reason, but yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. But shout out Yeezy, go. I was reading some tweets by the boy, holding it down. Alright, news event, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Alright. Let's see what happens here. This is a consolidation, as it appears. This honestly just looks like a, what ICT calls a phantom fucking, I don't know why I'm swearing, sorry guys. A phantom bull flag, I forgot. Where it's essentially pretends like it's gonna drop and then comes back up. You may see that retracement into 50%, but it's going to be slightly after, what's it called? Slightly after the news. May use the news to retrace here. That's what it looks like. See how it just consolidated and then like during this macro and just before the news it starts running. You want to wait till you see these type of moves. Obviously time them around the macro. Didn't see any retracements into any fair value gaps. I mean, you could consider this a retracement. Let's go to the 1 minute on the right side. Yeah, didn't get much of a chance for it to retrace. I mean, you can consider the 4-hour consequent encroachment a retracement. Really wanted to. Okay, so let's just see if this is respected. I mean, with the news about to come through, probably expect maybe one more run into one of these or both of them and then run, then drop. Or that was enough to that civvy, yeah. So we got less than a minute. I think we're gonna see that drop into the opening range here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely dropped all right. Yeah. Really took out the low of this wick from when that first news event happened. Let's see. We should be approaching the PM sell side liquidity soon. Okay, so the blue line below the chart. Okay, yeah. Bugging out. We obviously did hit 50%. Came back up to 50%. Let's see if we use it as quote unquote resistance. So the blue line down here, that is PM session sell side. And that's also going to be combined with the relative equal lows as well. So we may see that retracement. Let me go to 15 minute. Actually, yeah. Okay. I think we're already at 20%. Might be the case. I have to flip this. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, 20%, 30%'s down here. So yeah, looks like we're gonna hit it. Looks like we're gonna hit it. But look what we left up here. Bunch of relative equal highs. I think that'll be for next week. That'll be a task. Task for next week. But 20% retracement incoming. And PM session sell side from yesterday. So, see, this is like more normal, like news events, like the bullshit where we're just like in an uptrend the entire week. Like, come on now. Like, even if we're in like, even if we like, let's say we were bullish like at the beginning of the week, then like, okay, let's see some downwards price action the first couple days, and then like, you know, but there was a lot of news, which added more manipulation to the market. So they just went for the previous weekly high and the consequent encroachment of the 4-hour CIBI. And now we're going to see the retracements and, of course, series talking to me. Okay. Easy season approaching. Yeah. Yo, Ye is wilding right now, bro. The funny thing is, people like, okay, I can't even. I'm not gonna speak. I'm gonna hold my tongue. Coming for that PM sell side. So we hit the 20% weekly range retracement. Coming for that PM sell side from the previous day. Then the 1-hour CIBI, and then we got 30%. I don't know if we're gonna hit that right now, but. So, relative equal lows, I'll show that on the 1-hour chart right now. Relative equal lows at this consequent encroachment, as well as the PM sell side. it took the previous weekly high. News dropped. I mean, the second set of news dropped. TGIF. And now we're approaching those relative equal lows. I would be remiss if we don't take the PM sell side. That would be a tragedy. Obviously, I'm not trading right now, but just based off what I want to see, what it's showing, bro. I don't think I'll ever trade this week. It's just been like disappointing, to be honest with you. Yeah. This EA stuff is hilarious, man. Easy season approaching. Easy season approaching. Fuck what y'all saying. Fuck what y'all. Man, honestly, if it leaves open those relative equal lows, that's cool. And we go for that high, that's cool. But, I mean, honestly, I don't expect it to happen since this was just such an enormous drop. Let's go to the 1 minute before I get delusional up in here. See the 5 minute. Alright, so maybe we'll see some retracements then. Probably retrace into here, or at least create a fair value gap and then retrace. Alright, so don't count out these lows. I'll still consider this an option. Probably gonna step away from the charts real quick, tune into the drama on Twitter and stuff. I'm gonna obviously stay here, leave the charts open. PM sell side. Don't forget. Don't sleep on it. This blue line right here. It's also relative equal lows. Easy season approaching. It's easy season all year, boys. Yup. Yeah, we got it. No, I'm not in a trade. We just looking. Damn, so all we needed was a couple points above that previous weekly high. I don't know if I believe it, but like, hey. Probably I'm seeing next week. We'll probably take out those highs first and then we dip. I mean, like actual like all these highs really. It's like equal highs along with that. Now these equal highs that we just left. So, but yeah, after seeing this week, I'm 99% sure I'm never trading NFP week. Like, complete uptrend, and then of course, Friday as anticipated, you see the retracement, TGIF 20%, 30%. Let's see if we get 30%, which I think we will. Oh yeah, got a new keyboard. I'm sure you guys can hear it. Fucking love it. Sounds amazing. Should start an ASMR channel. Just taking a screenshot for the Discord boys. For the boys on Discord. For the boys. Actually, let me make sure I mark out. Tape reading is so fun. It's like your heart doesn't like pump out of your chest. It's so fun. Alright, so we took the sell side, PM sell side. There's no other news events for today, so I don't think it would be insane for us to go back for those equal highs, but I think at most we'll retrace, or we'll just keep dropping, because we got this whole entire open Sibby right here, and all this entire week was fucking bullish, so like, could do as much retracing as it wants. Especially after taking out that previous weekly high by like a few points, which is sus. But yeah, cool stuff. Probably gonna end it soon. Get back to the action on Twitter. Gotta do some content creation today and create some stuff for you guys. Got some good stuff coming, material-wise, for beginners and anyone who's into the ICT content already. Some really good consolidation of gems I found from watching ICT, pretty much all of his content. I'm gonna compile that and make WBG an official educational platform for beginning traders of all types, of all walks. Alright, so probably gonna let this sit for a little bit. I'm gonna see what happens if we get something in the next like 10 minutes, but other than that, we're gonna be wrapping it up soon. But good stuff. We hit those lows very nicely. So that was not only relative equal lows, but PM sell side from the previous day, and also consequent encroachment of the 1 hour inversion fair value gap. We love to see it. We love to see it because that's exactly what we anticipated in the live stream. Good stuff. So going into next week, we want to pay attention to these equal highs. I'm not saying today's over with, of course, but going into next week, relative equal highs. Let me go to the 4 hour. You guys probably have like squint your eyes to see that. Going to next week, relative equal highs. Of course, major. Was this from December? That was the last high from last year, right? Yeah, last month's. No, okay. Well, it's a very important high. Let's see. Go to the daily. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, relative equal highs on the daily. So the way this is looking, I think we're gonna see. Yeah, I mean it's completely relative equal highs. Yeah, so I think we'll see that next week. We love to see it though. I think today we may see some more retracement into this busy 4 hour busy. I'll map it out for you guys. Even though we did retrace into it, I think we may see a little bit more. Okay, of course it didn't. That busy right there. So if any of you don't know, TGIF, 20 to 30% retracement into the weekly range. So use the fib and put it on the weekly candle from the high to the low, and then obviously 20-30%. Saw that, and then I think today was probably the cleanest, in my opinion, in terms of the morning and what we wanted to see it do. Previous weekly high, consequent encroachment of the SEBI, straight down to the sell side liquidity, and also the daily busy. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. We love to see it. Okay. So, this weekly profile, completely bullish, but we can always count on Fridays. TGIF, it's Friday. TGIF, 20%, 30% retracement. We can always count on that. So, I wasn't trading, I was just tape reading, but it's always very profitable for your mindset, your trader psychology to tape read and just see stuff happen. That's the beauty of not pushing buttons, not thinking about the money, just seeing stuff happen. Seeing what you learned come to fruition. That is probably the most valuable part. So, daily busy. I would anticipate next week to take out those highs. After all this bullshit, this entire range, I think we'll break out of this range to take out the highs, and we'll see what happens after that. you know, we'll look at the seasonal tendencies for the next week will be Saturday, Sunday, the 10th. So next week would be approaching the half mark of the month. So then we'll look at, what's the tendency, seasonal tendency for February, the second half of February. I'm pretty sure it is bearish, but yeah, we'll see. So on the left, 15-second chart. Gonna move over to the 1 minute. See what's up. Okay, I have too many opening gaps here. Okay, whatever. So, looks like we got, okay, yeah. This line, event horizon, that's another ICT gem. That will be included within the new documentation we're adding to WBG inside of the university section. Let's see. Yeah, WBG University. Show you guys real quick. So we're going to be adding a media channel. Oops, not supposed to show you that. The media channel. We're going to be adding stuff to here. This is a private channel right now, but we're going to be working on it. Just a sneak peek. Also, guys, don't forget Sunday evening pre-week analysis. And overall discussion. If you guys want to come in and ask us questions about trading, for the most part, or towards the end of the discussion, we could just talk about life. That's cool, but business first, of course. Yeah, I mean, if I was trading this, this would be the end of my day. You saw what you wanted to see, and then that's it. You stop trading. You enjoy the rest of your day. So I think that's what we're gonna do. Gonna close out here. A lot of drama going on the little X. Shout out to Yeezy again. I said it like 5 times, but shout out Yeezy. It's Yeezy season. Yes, shout out to WBG, everyone in there, everyone communicating, everyone getting together. Thank you for everyone who watched, everyone who tuned in. Like I said, Sunday evening, 8 p.m. EST. Tune in, and yeah, I'll see you guys then. Let me know if you have any questions in the Discord between now and then. And yeah, we'll keep in touch, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Happy Friday.